Welcome to the first semi-final of this Legends Cup that we're playing. So this is Chaos against Bretonnians. It's my Chaos team from seasons 1 and 2. Finished. Where did we finish? Third, and then first. Seasons 1 and 2, respectively. Haven't seen them since then. This Bretonnian team played in the 4th season and came 8th. And their quarter-final win against the North team that we saw earlier in this playlist was the first win this team have had. And it's a new coach to the game, as I think I said in that game. Sort of played just a few games of tabletop before joining us for season 3. And then, brought this Bretonnian team into season 4 and is playing in this competition as well. And we'll see in this game, they are definitely improving. And I mean they've got to this semi-final and they're doing a lot better. But something they're still doing is putting 5 players on the line of scrimmage when defending, which you just don't need to do. It's a minimum requirement of 3, and that's really all you need. And I don't know if they're trying to do things like these 2 straight 4 players on, thinking they're going to be harder to hit. But the Bretonnians are at a big strength disadvantage here against Chaos, especially with 3 guards on the pitch as well. And I'm going to hit all of these players with 2 dice. That just is going to happen. So keep two more of those players back. Got a high kick on the kickoff. Chaos are attacking. Sure hands guys come back to catch the ball. And does. Yeah, there we go. Right, quick look at the teams then. So 4 linemen and a blocker on the line of scrimmage shows a strength 4 blocker and a strength 4 lineman. And there's loads of linemen with levels on this team. So there's a block on there, a tackle armour 8 lineman, and a block tackle lineman. There's another lineman over here with block, another blocker here with wrestle, and they're only on 2 blockers at the moment. This Bretonnian team is 1 missing the game, who's their only guard as well. So I was looking for my 3 guard players and the strength advantage to sort of really bring some dominance to this game. The 4 blitzers are the important players for Bretonnians. There's an unlevelled one back here who's on 5 points. We've got dodge, dump off and accurate, mighty blow and sidestep on that one. This one has dodge and sprint, and there's an unlevelled lineman on the bench. That's the Bretonnian team there. They were a fair way down on team value. They took an extra training and 2 Bloodwise babes. It was around just over the 200 mark that they were down. So my Chaos team, we've got a block warrior here who's not played that many games, but has got to those 9 points fairly quickly. I think it was like the last regular season game of season 2 that I had a Chaos Warrior die, and then he stepped in from then. So 4th game, I think, on 9 points already with block. There's a block and dodge warrior, and then 2 block and guard warriors who are both in there. Fairly even points. Other guard is this Beastman, who's block dodge guard. And we've got a block mighty blow Beastman. This is the only kill skill I've got on the team, so for a Chaos team of this team value, they don't pack much of a punch, but this is the one player who does. And then there's just a block Beastman there who I'm trying to level next. We've got over here a wrestle diving tackle Beastman who I think I've built wrong. I think block is better than wrestle for a diving tackle player. And we've got wrestle tackle on that one. This is 2 extra arms and 2 heads, and this is the short hands one we saw go catch the ball. And on the bench we've got wrestle strip ball, so he plays on defence. And we've got 2 unlevelled Beastmen. I did have a kick and prehensile tail Beastman, but who died in the quarterfinal where I had to play an AO team. Still lost a Beastman. Apothecary couldn't save him, so I've replaced him with one of these. Hasn't played yet. And we go. We chose to attack. Try and get those hits in first, and we're being given 2 extra hits here as well. Which should hopefully help. And there's 2 knockdowns so far with no arm breaks. That's a double skulls. Which is the downside of rolling more blocks. But the ball's safe and in a Beastman's hands over here. That's a stun. First armor break on the 4th block. And to do that because I wanted to move another player over here to cover, try and look out for these blitzers maybe coming through this way. But that's another double skull. Second in the turn, that's the mighty blue Beastman who is stunned already. But the ball's safe, so I thought I'd definitely take all the blocks I could. Didn't manage to roll my blitzer, which would have been this beast man if this guy had been knocked down or pushed back. It was 35 times out of 36 that would have happened, and I got my blitz from this guy. And that's an inconvenient knockout. Straight back, and that's a block guard warrior, who we don't see a lot more of in this game. So looking here for this to be the blitz. Double skulls there, so three of them coming up already. 3 1 in 36s on block dice. Where are we going here? So yeah, they are basing up loads of players here. With the strength advantage I've got, I mean I can't move these players where I want necessarily, but I'm just gonna hit all of these. So keeping on engaging like that is probably a bit dangerous. And with the Bretonnians advancing there, I've taken the ball this way to make sure it's safe before I roll any dice. And that pushback there generates another hit on that lineman, because this warrior, well, he was in there, so he could have hit one of these, but he wouldn't have got 2 dice. There he does on a weak target. And if I can take some armor 7 linemen out of the game, it'll help that sort of dominance I'm looking to build. Let's go for that guy there. I could have hit him with this one, but I think, what am I trying to do? Am I trying to, yeah, do something about these players? Because this guy even being stunned here is in the way. Because he's blocking the one route through where they don't have to dodge one of these warriors. Maybe suggest I want to blitz one of them to open this gap up. They do have a strength 4 player here. You could maybe go for this one, but it is a block dodge warrior. Engaging there, and yeah, that is the blitz. Does need a power to get a knockdown. Wrestle does clear that tackle zone though, so there are players who can move through here now. That one doesn't though. See, we've got 2 blitzers back here. Well, the quicker players. And yeah, that one is free. So that's pressure on the ball I have to deal with next turn, one way or another. I think, yeah, I'll go for this blitz here because I've got a chain push on, which means I can push this warrior here, and that shields. Oh, there's a death there. But yeah, I was looking at shielding this blitzer with my warrior. So I used the apothecary on that lineman, which is maybe a bit surprising for Bretonnians. Apothecaries are usually saved for the important players. Peasants getting apothecaries is maybe something that doesn't happen that often. Yeah, so rather than trying to blitz this guy who's got block and dodge, who's going to be hard to knock over, my only tackle player on the pitch being over here as well, who was marked and prone, I decided to just sort of wall off against him a bit. Oh yeah, and this is an error I made. That one dice. If I'd rolled a skull there, wasn't really a big deal. But let's look at how poorly I've done this from the Bretonnians' point of view. I think what I did is fail to consider that this guy has strength 4, so it's quite trivial for the Bretonnians here to get 2 dice on the ball. All they really need to do, let's do a bit of screen draw. Hang on. Pen. Right, so let's have a bit of screen draw. Right, I've faffed about for a couple of minutes trying to do this, so I think I'm just going to cut some out. But what we have is this here. That's 2 dice, which is on because this guy's strength 4. This guy here, yeah, this one, he can't assist because he's marked. So that's just 2 dice. If you don't follow, you've got a lineman here who can come into there. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. He's standing there, and then this blitzer just step there, and then it's 2 dice on the ball. And that's very probably going to drop the ball on the floor. And I've left that on a bit carelessly because this guy's got straight 4 and I wasn't paying attention properly. I just thought, oh, there's a pocket, I'll put the ball carrier in there. This guy's not going to try and dodge there because that would be silly. But all that move was on, and I left it. But got away with it a bit. Because my opponent does open with this block, which he needed to do, gets a knockdown, which I needed to do, but then follows up. And what that does is blocks through that route. They needed that square to come through to be able to put a marker and a blitzer onto the ball carrier. Because following up means they have to come through this square, which is covered by him, so it's a dodge. So I got away with that because of that follow up, but that was an easy 2 dice on the ball that they had. Double skulls, 2 each for anyone who's counting. And the blitz is it's here. Okay, so Dauntless firing. I didn't need Dauntless because I had 2 assists anyway. And that, so yeah, this one could come here, and that's save again. Doesn't need Dauntless, has 2 assists, and knocks down 2 warriors. Doesn't, in fact, that one has dodge, so that's a pushback. So that's wrestle, putting that guy down. My turn 4. So ball really not very safe because they can do things here, and I know I got away with one already last turn. So that guard's in there. I think I'm looking at this being the target of my blitz. Oh yeah, I think I moved the ball over here this turn because I managed to put up a screen there, and that's strength 3 against 4. It's Dauntless with 1 dice could open me up here. Is another thing to look out for. I think I didn't really consider that properly at the time, but yeah, that's the blitz there. The straight 4 guy's a bit annoying, so it'd be nice if he could leave the pitch, but it doesn't. And this block beast man as well, on 11 points, is one who I want to be scoring. Here more this block warrior on 9. They could both do with another level really. But yeah, the pro Bretonnians do have on here is that 2+ Dauntless roll. I think even a pushback here. So we're looking at, because he's got block, it's a 3+ roll really to get a pushback. Shove him over here, and then you got this strength 4 guy who can just come in that way. So sort of 2+, 3+ to open up that 2 dice on the ball. And again, I've left that on because I'm not playing that well, and not really concentrating, considering the options. So they're gone for the blitz here on one of the sort of front runners, and that does mean the ball carrier is marked. And this is where I start running into problems like that. So my opponent does really well from sort of that turn onwards, and making sure the ball's based every turn, if not every turn, almost every turn, and makes it really difficult for me. So I had to put him in there to stop these 2 being able to assist, and that gives me 2 dice on the guy and marking the ball. But because that wasn't a knockdown, I mean, he's got a 2+ dodge away with 2 heads. But I'm a bit low on players to screen if I want to carry on that way. And really I should be pulling the ball probably over here this turn. Maybe back down here. But I can't, I think what I do is lean into moving down the left here. And basically run out of players to screen with and leave my ball carrier a bit open. Have to reroll there because I haven't got block. Do use the chain push to put a bit more cover in there, so it's not easy for them to get the ball. But I do have sort of 1 simple dodge through there, which is 4+ for him. And in fact, this is probably 2 dice on the ball they might have wanted to take. So movement 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 4+, 2+, and this guy's got 2 dice on the ball. Does have to dodge through there, but they've got 3 team rerolls. 4+, 2+. it's probably worth a shot. Third turn in a row, really, they could have got 2 dice on the ball without terrible rolls. Like that's probably that dodge through there from alignment is probably the hardest one they've had left on. Because it was 2+3+ with the Dauntless 1 dice last turn, and just a 2 dice block before that. Yeah, I said that was worth a shot. I think what they do instead, they blitz here, much like I did last turn. Third double skulls for them. That pushback there leaves this guy just enough movement with 2 go for it's to come mark the ball carrier again, and it's a movement 4 player marking the ball, which is a bit of a problem. I mean, there are worse teams it could tap into than Chaos, but because I can find a strength 4 blitz quite easily. But that is a problem. And my opponent did really well here is not just stick that guy in there, because that gives me potential for fitting in that square, which this guy probably would have done. He'd have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, stood there, and then I need to blitz this guy. If he's standing there, I can blitz into him diagonally, all the 3 squares that he can push back to the field, and I can push him out and then just move the ball carrier away. But splitting them up like that makes that much harder to deal with, and doesn't leave that play on for me. And that means I've got to either dodge with the ball carrier, or the ball's not going anywhere this turn, because he'll have to block someone away to try and get them away. And I think I probably should have gone with the dodge. I'm going to go for the block here. Straight 4 guy. Right, so it gets 1 marker off the ball. But yeah, really, I think I took that on. Put him over there. Yeah, I think I should have gone with 3+ dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I hadn't used a reroll, probably go for take the go for it's 1 at a time and try to just score that turn. I think that would have been a better approach from me. Because I end up having to throw a couple of dodges with this player who got the dodge skill, but to put him in there, and I've still left on attempt on the ball because he's just got a 3+ dodge away. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he's hitting there, and he's got block. Ball carrier doesn't. 3+, 4+ to get the ball on the floor. Both of those have blocks, so my mighty blow players. I actually did kill a lineman, but apart from that, he's not done anything. This mighty blow player has been the blitzer over there has been a bit on the fringes of the game so far as well. I think it was the strength 4 lineman who knocked out a Chaos Warrior turn 1. He's over there. Okay, so needed that. Rerolled that skull to a power to knock down my block dodge beastman. Blitz in there. Well, they could have had. They've got it's blitzer with dodge. He can't assist, so still 3+ with a reroll for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 1 dice on the ball. Worth a go. That's better than him dodging actually, because he's got the dodge skill. That'd have been worth a shot, I think. But they used their blitz there, and again put a marker on the ball. So that's 2 players marking the ball again. One of them is marked, but he's now double marked, and I can't get anyone in there to fill the box in. I can't blitz from there to make that a T-shape, so oh yeah, this is what I do. Yeah, things start looking a bit desperate basically. So I come over here, grab a knockout, which is helpful. My mighty blow player on theirs, but I'm trying to just make a bit of space here to try and move the ball to. But it means having to throw blocks before I make this risky dodge, which is the most important part of the turn. I think there I was looking at, if he's knocked down, I've got an easier time getting through. That's a 2+ dodge with 2 heads. He's gone there, so he makes that dodge. I think I'm looking at throwing the ball to him, but want it to come through there first to make it a shorter throw. which is just more dice, which I probably shouldn't have rolled. And then I shouldn't really be rolling the pass, but I can't just leave the ball there because it's just, you know, it's just easily gettable there. But now it's on the floor. And I've got 2 players who can reach the end zone. 3 in fact, because this one as well. Although he's just been knocked over. What about this sure hands one? How close is he? Don't remember. 2, 4, 6, 8. No, he's out. So now it's these 2 players. They need to make sure they're watching. And this one's marked. And he still gets a 3+ catch with extra arms, even if he's marked. But I'd probably be better off dodging him into the end zone and trying to throw him the ball that way. So that's where the blitz comes. I think personally this lineman should have been over to just stand in that square and just make it really hard for me straight away as a first move, because you don't need to roll any dice to do that. And I don't think, because he goes for the pickup here, which is obviously riskier than these 3+ dodges. But I think if he's standing next to the ball, that's already going to make it really hard for me to score. And I do decide the thing I found to try and score was dodge that guy into the end zone, which is that first roll that I found. No team rerolls left. Found it on a 1. Yeah, get him in there, and then I was looking at a 4+ dodge into there to blitz. Hope for a generous scatter back this way, and then Shorthand's guy could just about reach, pick up, throw. Was basically all I had on. Had a little look at that. Obviously on the replay it goes straight into the first action, and that was a failed dodge, or the failed 2+ dodge. And no score this half, so opponent defended really well. And yeah, it didn't stop the score. And now looking at this guy on 5 points, making a pass. And I was saying at the time, throwing it to a blitzer, they've got catch, you get a reroll. But I think we're struggling with like how the interface works with getting the menu up and select pass when you're standing right next to someone. But then did finally do that, but then threw it to that guy. He called it anyway, but didn't get a catch reroll for that. So if that had been fouled, they wouldn't have got that point, and it would have been a turnover because there was no rerolls left. That's just a stun. Have a love with that guy though, which is nice. And nothing else, so good half for the Bretonnians. Have used their apothecary is pretty much the only bad thing that happened for them. That knockout not coming back is no good at all. This one does come back, that's the Mighty Blows sidestep blitzer. And Bretonnians are now on the attack. So I'm down, not only down a warrior, but down a guard. So the way I put this line of scrimmage together here, which does come over a bit, but I wanted the 3rd guard to be here instead. So all 3 guards are on the line. They just wouldn't have been able to hit any of them safely at all. Because if you look at that, especially if that's a guard as well, there's just no getting at that with no guard on the Bretonnian team. And then this block dodge warrior would have been on that corner, so there's not even really an easy blitz for 2 dice anyway. You have to start committing a lot of players and getting them in danger to try and create a situation where you're going to get 2 dice. This is a really hard formation to blitz, especially with strength 4 players in it. And I ideally want one on that corner, but instead I've just got to go for that block beastman. Yeah, there's just no way to get 2 dice on this without a guard. So what I have to open with is a 1 dice block. And they choose to do that with this strength 4 lineman rather than this strength 4 blocker. And do have to re-roll that. So that push back now gives them some 2 dice blocks. And then knock that warrior down. And there's 2 dice on this guy as well from this block lineman here. They've got the ball. But yeah, if they'd opened up, if these 2 strength 4 players were switched around, that both down, they could have taken it. I mean, the wrestle wouldn't have been ideal because they'd have lost the 2 dice block later on. But Yeah, they could have saved a reroll, although they had 6 with the kick-off result happening just then. So they've dropped quite deep there. They didn't take that last 2 dice block, and there was we were playing 2-minute turns in this competition, and there were a few turns where my opponent either ran out of time or came very close to it. I can't remember if that was the turn that happened. But they've dropped quite deep here, which sort of invites me into their half really. So I've got this space to attack, and I've got this space to attack, and I can come and start marking players up here and push them back. They obviously want to get the ball down this end. They don't have to be in a rush to do it because they've got all these turns, and ideally they'd want to score turn 16, which gives me no time to score back. But by dropping players back here rather than holding a line up here and screening up here, that keeps me in my half and stops me coming to put pressure on the ball. Where they fall back here, the shape they're in is not wrong. It's just how far back it is, really. It just gives me the opportunity to come and pressure over here, and we'll see how that develops into them not having a great attacking drive as we go through. And I go a bit gung-ho here by putting too many players forward. I think this dive and tackle wrestle guy should have come back this way to act more as a sweeper, which is sort of what the intention for this player build is. But I've sent him forward instead, which is a bit unnecessary, I think. So it leaves me a bit open over here. So blitzes from the Mighty Blow guy. We'll try and make sure he's hitting someone every turn if possible. I can get 2 dice on the strength 4, so why not? That's a lineman down. But this is pressure on the ball straight away. And where I'm sort of engaging players, these 3 are hanging back here. And they can get the ball safe next turn, okay. But as we go on, the more I'm engaging players, the fewer players they've got to screen the ball. And they eventually just start running out of players to protect the ball carrier. And I think it starts really by them dropping back here and letting me into their half. And I've been doing all right with armour and injury rolls as well. I had that knocked out warrior turn 1, but no one else has left the pitch since. And it was quite a light on injuries first half, really. The ball is up there. I do have this sort of 4-point cage almost. This square isn't filled in, but I'm not a threat in that square. And this guy doesn't need to throw a go for it. I think a lot of players, when they start learning about caging, would think, I've got to have someone standing in that square, but I'm not a threat to that square. This guy's protecting it fine there. This guy's probably actually protecting that corner fine here or here somewhere. He could be somewhere around here, and I'm still not getting at that corner. He doesn't even need to be that far over, but it is great that they haven't thought, need someone in there, better throw a go for it, because you just don't need to throw that. And if you roll a 1, you've got a player laying on the floor at best. So that was great. But he could also have been over here, still protecting that, because I'm not quick enough to go and do anything over there really. And if he's over here, I'm not getting through. What I do have is a bit of a based cage here, which could potentially open up some dice on the ball. So I've got a guard warrior over here. What I was looking at doing this turn, and he's the strength 3. That's right. So I think I was looking at, knock this guy away, move the guard in there, and then I've got 2 dice here, and then I haven't really got a good option, but I do have a 3+ dodge for 2 dice on the ball if that's a knockdown. Which is probably worth taking, and that was the sort of thing I was looking at doing, trying to knock this guy down to get him out of the way. I have to take them both down there, and that means my guard's not free. I don't really want to dodge him over there, so I'll take a bit of a different approach. Do drop a couple of players back this time, because I don't think I can stop them coming forwards next turn. So if I can't do that, I want players back here for cover, and I want to limit the amount of players that can go with the ball next turn. So I hit there instead. I think my blitz is going to be back here somewhere in the end. Oh, there's an injury. It's the first one for a while, so missed next game on that lineman. Yeah, so let's dive in tackle on this blitzer. And I want to look at stopping these players following the ball. So I want to mark them all up. Because if I can just leave 2 players available to come over here, I'm pretty sure I can hit the ball next turn. And if they want to retreat or try and stay there, I think I can probably get it hit as well. So I'm just going to try, because I had these players who were able to get into the opponent's half in that first turn of the drive. I could hold up the players who were going to screen the ball. I think if the Bretonnians had screened me off up here and stopped me getting through, I'd have found it much harder to do that. And they could have stayed together more as a unit and protected the ball carrier better in the next couple of turns. Because here they've got a lot of dodges they don't want to be making, or they have to block players, which means they can't move. And this was the blitz, which I found a bit surprising, moving that blocker. He doesn't have, so it's just a 3+ dodge to try and get him out to do that. But this guy's free. He can come over and just hit this player. And maybe keep moving, maybe screen down here, move the ball down here, and then if you want to dodge, you can maybe go for that. Although failing a dodge there could be quite bad because the ball carrier would be open. But really, I think the point I was making is I would try to not leave a good option on for the Bretonnians. A block player again there, taking that both down, would have just knocked that guy over and stayed on his feet, and he'd have still been available. Yeah, because there's not a lot about they can do to keep the ball safe at this point. Now I actually missed 2 dice on the ball here because I had noticed this guy was free and could just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then from there he's got 2 dice with a go for it. And this is a wrestle strip ball player, so ideal player to hit the ball carrier. But I totally missed it. I got preoccupied with blitzing this guy at the front and then marking up the ball carrier, and just didn't see it until I come to move him later in the turn. I was like, he could have just blitzed the ball, and that definitely would have been a better option. I think moving some players down here for cover, and then that 2+ go for it for a blitz on the ball was, I think, definitely the move I should have made. Instead I used a tackle guy to hit this dodge one, I think. With 3 dice, which is actually an accident as well. I sort of didn't realise that I had 3 assists and horns until that rolled. But that stun is massive because that's one of the few players who could screen the ball carrier. There's tackle on the dodge ball carrier now, and then this guy who I should have just blitzed the ball carrier with can come in and just be another threat. So that's 2 markers on the ball. That's a nothing one. 2 dice on that blitzer. He's knocked down. I'll follow him up, and he can just stand up to give away 2 dice there. But it's a block dodge warrior, so standing him up will allow me to do that. Something I could do here as well. I think what they do is blitz with this guy, where really there's 2 players marking the ball carrier. Their blitz almost certainly is going to have to be trying to deal with that. They could have just knocked that guy away with this guy who's standing there, so he's straight 4, 5 against 4. Even the pushback's fine because then he can stand up, move over here. Maybe throw some go for it's to come and be a problem here, although I think I've got a load of guard over here anyway, haven't I? Both of my guard players are on the pitch. So again, not really a good option for them, but I don't think the blitz there was the best one. Of the limited options they had, I think the blitz probably had to be over here to try and deal with something, even if it's the ball carrier throwing 1 dice at this guy and trying to move away somewhere. Even 4+ dodge with dodge to there to 1 dice in, push him through and just try and run in the score. It's probably a better option because they didn't get a chance to do anything about the 2 players marking the ball. And that leaves me with just 2 dice with Wrestle Strip Ball on this guy because I've got an assist there. But what they do now is try and... So this ball carrier has dump off. Only player who can really throw it to is this guy, who's in 4 tackle zones. Has the catch skill, but he needs a 6, and he's got 2 chances to roll a 6, which isn't a great option. There's this guy as well who's got a catch of 4, but without a reroll. I think 4 without a reroll is better than 6 with. I think that's too far away. But yeah, goes to the dump off for him, and the guy who's blocking intercepts it. Gets a knockdown and a knockout as well. So it's a blitzer off the pitch. And puts the Bretonnians down to 9 players. That's a bit inconvenient that the guy who caught the ball has already moved. But he was the only one who could intercept. But it means the ball's stuck there for the rest of the turn. I can't move it anywhere else. And now we can just start fighting back. Outnumber the Bretonnians already now at this point. I just need to make sure we're well covered here. So if they want to go for the ball, it's going to be tricky with 2 guard players standing there. So he's going to get 2 red dice to go for that. Like I think I said in the first half, these are the 2 players I'd most like to score a touchdown with. So I'd like to free one of them up to be able to take a handoff and run it in. So sort of preparing for that as well. But we're starting to get to the point now where the Bretonnians are feeling really outnumbered and short on options. And I think what I do is go for 1 dice on the ball for this guy. That lineman coming back here might have been a better move. Yeah, it's that blitz. So something they did do there is so it's a 4+ dodge. They've got the dodge skill, but they're dodging away from tackle, so dodges are relevant. But has to make a 4+ dodge to do that. If you just dodge there instead, it's a 3+ dodge because it's into a square that's unmarked. And you've still got plenty of movement to go there as well. So he's standing up from 3, 4, 5, 6 for the block, and he's still got a square of movement after. But by just dodging straight there, he makes that dodge harder. He made it on a 6 anyway. But yeah, made that dodge harder than he needed to. And we can straight away just start getting rid of the player marking the ball. And that's an injury. And now this is why you don't throw away apothecaries on Bretonnian linemen, because even a Bretonnian lineman with block is nowhere near as valuable as this guy. And arguably a Bretonnian lineman with a skill is just team value bloke. So yeah, it's a shame that the apothecary went on that lineman in the first half, because a minus strength blitzer is no good to anyone. And it's retirement injury really. So yeah, identify this beast man is the one I want to score with. Ball can move forward this turn. I think I'll probably go for a pass. And that's another injured blitzer as well. That's 3 of them put out in a couple of turns. That one's just badly hurt. But yeah, 1 blitzer left on the pitch for the Bretonnians, and the Bretonnian team is built around its blitzers. So having 1 left, the team just doesn't function anymore. I think that dodge was an accident. I hadn't noticed that player was blocked and just double clicked away. And now I go for a pass here, because why not take the extra star player point? You drop the ball though, so I don't get that point. Okay, 14 coming down towards the end. Bretonnia's still out of options really. They've got a ton of dice to roll to get 2 dice on this block player with this blocker here. You can dodge around that way. which I think is what they go for, but it's not a happy thing to try. And fails that first 4+ dodge. Team reroll doesn't help either. And there we go. That's the turnover. So I've got to scoot the ball up 3 more turns, including this one, to get the winner. So Bretonnian linemen aren't going to really want to dodge anyway, but put diving tackle on him because he's the furthest back. He's the biggest threat to my attack now. Guard players in there where they can just be a nuisance. That lineman with mighty blow doesn't help, and then the blitz is, where is it? Oh, this guy. Just a push. Pushes that strength 4 lineman back. It's getting further away, and there's another knockout as well. Bretonnians really dropping players now, down to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of them stunned. So designated touchdown scorer over there. Use extra arms to pick the ball up because it's a 2+ rather than 3. Let's see if we can get a pass this time. And that's how it does work. 15, really not much left for the Bretonnians now. I think this guy dodging is almost, I mean, it's not good because it needs a 6 with diving tackle. I can blitz the diving tackle guy. Knock him down. And now he's just got a 4+ if he wants to come in that way. Or from 1 dice to warrior. That didn't work out. So I can put these in here just to protect. I think my intention at this point was just to score this turn, but I wanted to take some blocks first. So that's straight 4 linemen. Follow up after the defend, and it's too nice there as well. That can free up this guy. So yeah, just watching the blitzer. Make it hard to come through. Yeah, and if I was going to hold up for a turn, I should have stayed over here and just come down there, because then this player's in the way. What I did leave them was a slim chance to get a marker on the ball here. Like they can't blitz the ball, but really I should have been over there. I have to open up with a red dice to try and push him away. But this is still 4+, 3+ for him to dodge 3. Fails that first one and he's knocked out. That was their turn 16, so kind of just had to chuck whatever dice you could to get that on. And then final turn of the game, I think this just goes in, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't want to take any risks. Quad skulls means overtime when I could just step forward 1 square and make sure that doesn't happen. And that finishes the game. So that's our first semi-final done. Our Chaos team into the final. And I'll have a quick look at some of the aftermath. Yeah, 1-0 win, so quite a lot more armour breaks. Quite a few armour 7 players on the Bretonnian team though. We were out blocking them, which you'd sort of expect a Chaos team to do. That strength advantage and the 3 guard players, like I was saying, although only 2 of the guard players played in the game. That one who knocked out first turn didn't come back. Yeah, we got a lot more removals. 7-1. That knocked out a guard warrior. Was the only player off the pitch, so I can't really complain about that. And I'm not, for the record. Horrible game when you. Yeah, that's the only points you get. That guy with the vanity pass in turn 8 also got MVP, and that's the only points for the game. Quite a few for me though, although nobody levelled. It's the flip side of that. A lot of players just edging up a bit. I don't think this was a dicey game where dice really decided it. They threw a load of dodges out of desperation more than anything towards the end, but there were a lot of 4+ dodges, and they found a lot of those. Go for it's pretty good. Mine did I did roll a couple of go for it's. I can't remember when though, to be honest, but I did roll a couple, and there were no failed go for it. So I'm going only four rolled. Block dice not amazing there, but my opponent did roll 3 double skulls to my 2. It was the final count at the end. We both rolled more skulls than pals. All 3 of their double skulls were re-rolled though. My turn 1, 2 double skulls was the only turnover that came from one of those. That is where we are. The other game in the other semi-final has been played, so I'm not going to spoil that. But that's to find out who we play in the final. It's Lizardmen against Vampires, and that'll be up next. I'm going to do that. Hopefully, get that in tonight as well.